Hey guys, Full Throttle here, and this is a 2021 Aprilia Tuono V4 factory. Today we're going to try to install this RNG frame sliders kit. They have two versions, one that is just this main metal block that goes onto the frame, and the one I chose has these extra little pieces that go something like this. The reason why I went with this is because if you look on this bike, they mount to this and this bolt on either side. If you look from here, this fairing sticks out beyond the piece here. So I wouldn't really be protecting these guys. So with this, hopefully we have a little bit more of a chance to save some of our expensive plastic parts. Let's take a look at what actually comes with the kit. So you have your two main blocks that go onto the frame. These two guys that mount on top there. We have three different types of screws. So these are the two shortest ones that are used to install this onto this using these flat washers and lock washers. Now these four cap screws, there are two different lengths. One is 80 millimeter and one is 90 millimeter. So the 80 millimeter one goes to the left side of the vehicle, and the 90 millimeter one is used for the right side. It's just a different spacing, I guess. The distance to the engine is a little bit different. It also comes with these instructions, 3 pages for English, well, 2 pages, three sides, and there's some other languages as well. Comes with some RNG stickers. These spacers as well, I'm going to use the longer ones, but these spacers, I'm supposed to have 4 of them, but I got 5 of the tall ones and 4 of the short ones. They're basically to be used when you put this here. Actually, the longer tapered portion, this side, is supposed to be forward. That way it gives you a little bit more offset. But those spacers are meant to go over here. They're meant to space the black block from the frame. So depending on the version of the bike you have, because these work for the older generation RSV4 and Tuono as well, you're supposed to use the appropriate one. I would just use the longer one, gives you a little more space, and that's it. So other than that, there are some stickers to replace these guys. This piece is what you use to plug the hole if you really wanted to. I don't really care. We'll see if I do that or not. So let's talk about the tools you need to do this job. The bolts that are on the frame right now will need a 13 millimeter socket to remove. This one is an 8 millimeter Allen like this, and the other two golden looking ones here are 17 millimeters. That should be everything. They do specify a torque of maximum 40 newton meters, so if you have a torque wrench, do that. And I would probably also suggest using Loctite. Let's start on the left hand side here. These are the two bolts we need to remove. Now my concern is I'm removing these bolts that are holding the engine onto the bike. I don't know if I need some support at the bottom, but there should be more screws. So 1, 2, I don't know if that's probably connecting as well, and 3 on the other side. So removing 2 should be probably okay. And the instructions doesn't say anything like supported at the bottom, so I'm gonna try removing it right now. It was honestly not that tight. I had my breaker bar out, but I didn't exactly need it, so your mileage may vary. The two bolts on the left side are out. Here they are. They have a little washer on them. I got my 80 millimeter long bolts with the taller spacer and my main block. Notice this side, the side that will go on the front, is a little bit longer than the one on the back. Actually, I noticed I don't have a torque wrench that is going as low as 40 newton meters, so I'm going to do it by hand. And here is some Loctite that you might want to add. I have the block assembled with the two 80 millimeter long screws, and the longer spacer goes on the back here. That way it gives you spacing between the frame. It's not perfect. Ideally it should be maybe 1 or 2 millimeters longer, but it is what it is. These cap screws will take an 8 millimeter Allen key. It looks a little bit something like this after it's been tightened. The spacers really don't do anything. They could have included a little bit longer spacers. That's okay. Now we want to grab one of these guys. It takes this screw, put the washer through, flat washer, and then the lock washer. Apply some Loctite, and it takes a 17mm socket. That goes in the center hole right there. It's been installed. You can see the bolt inside. What you want is the larger portion facing the front of the vehicle and the slimmer portion facing the back. Now we can basically do the same thing on the other side. It will take the 90mm bolt for these two positions, and everything else is the same, so make sure to keep the longer tapered side forward and the smaller side on the back. So that pretty much does it for this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this in the future.